What up, world? Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. You already know what it is. Stay tuned. We got Vinyl Community Connect coming up.
I want you to be around for this year, next year, every year. You've been here for every tear. You complete me even though I'm holding my own. I had you on ice like the snow and it's gone. Look, you should slide my way, be easy on the brakes.
Jess Lipsky in the building.
I fly the extraordinary stay in the AO in LA. Put that snow and Stevie Wonder on replay. But we can get away riding down. It's back in the day. Now the record on replay. I'm by your side like ShyDaze. Two lovers in a Bentley.
What up, man? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm chilling, hanging out. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Super excited to be here, and thank you so much for being a part of this.
No, dude, thanks for having me. I'm stoked.
Let's see here. We'll give it a couple ticks for everyone else to join. I was tripping out when I found out like how small this world was when you came up on like you I had with Saracen and Billy, and then you knowing the other guys was just like, what?
Yeah, man, it is so small, and like that's something that like when I've been writing, I just constantly am like about.
Very cool. I think Shy's here. Let me go ahead and add. Awesome. Everyone's here. Hey.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. I'll go ahead and kick everything off with the introduction real quick. Thanks everybody who's been viewing. This is the very first episode of Vinyl Community Connect live stream, and this is a really special thing for me. I think about 50 live streams, but honestly, I think this one might mean most to me. I remember reaching out to Shy back in like November, kind of discovered community, and I wanted to connect. I wanted to platform, collaborate with my sisters, and just kind of, you know, give recognition. For me, I was raised by my mother, a gang of aunts, and so it's normal to intelligent, strong, empowered women doing things. It's normal to recognize and success of women for me. And in the vinyl community, for me, I don't believe I see enough of it. And so I always said day one, my mission be to connect, strengthen the community, but to also make sure that my sisters get the support that my brothers get. And more important, you know, having a core. You know, I think about role modeling. And in order for children and girls that might not feel empowered to do things, we need to see great success coming from yourself. And so super honored here, and especially with the platform that I have. You know, try to do the best I can with what I have, and you know, 1,500 followers, whatever is 800 I had. So I'm just really excited that. Folks, for those that don't know, we are joined by women right here. We've got ShyDaze, that is the founder of vinyl community. And I remember when I discovered her account, I was kind of moved by the content, and I said, this is someone that I want to follow. And from there, I realized that there's Black Girls Vinyl. Something wrong?
The audio is choppy for a bunch of people are noticing. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, second breath too. Beautiful
It's going
message,
in and out a little bit.
I'll try and keep. We'll just see what happens. I had discovered Black Girls, and furthermore, I researched who this person was, who this woman was that was making waves and trying to draw. And really, the community is just the tip of the iceberg, because she started her own business. Music has been multiple chapters of her life. Was her connection to songs like Bonnie Liston Smith, or getting from the beat to making beats that she shows her vinyl collection. And so I'm happy to have you, Shy. Our second guest, Fatima Chantel, is who I followed for a long time, been a fan of the content, but being a great podcast, and then of course your record shop. for me, what really was we don't see enough or a lot of Black women owning records. And so I want to say congratulations to you. I'm super proud of you, successes, and I wanted to bring you that other women, the example that you set and raised in terms of Black community, talking about the music, the records that you love, but also taking it a step further by having your own record shop. Last but not least of our guests is Jess Lipsky, an author. Those that don't know, Jess' work has been in the New York Times, Vice. Of course, she just recently wrote a book on the history of Daptone Records, Revolution of Soul, and I'm really honored to have everyone here. I'd like to go ahead and start things off with our first question, which is, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and how they can find your work.
So my name is Alexandria ShyDaze. I am, I know it's echoing really bad.
Yeah.
Is it echoing on you guys' end? Okay. I'm gonna take my headphones out. Let's try to.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You sound good. You sound clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Alexandria ShyDaze. I go by ShyDaze, ShyDaze, my middle name. I started Black Girls Love Vinyl in 2018. I'm also like a creative. I do like work on creative projects. What else? This is my main thing though, like really focusing on the brand of Black Vinyl. I've been collecting records for a long time. Give you a year. I've always grew up around records. Always part of my life, and yeah, I'm just happy to. It's weird, like being part of community now. I feel like this was a big community with social media, so it's exciting to be here with everyone.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Fatima.
Okay, my name is Fatima Chantel, founder of Creatism, which is a record shop mostly online. And I also have a podcast where I interview record collectors. And I pretty much I feel like I've been collecting records my whole life. Like, I'm not trying to give a year either. But I also worked in a lot of record stores, accumulated a lot of records, and I decided to turn it into selling records. And it's basically just been growing, and as is the podcast where I interview people about their record collections. So that's what I do.
Very cool. All right, Jess, up to you.
Hey, I'm Jess Lipsky. I'm a journalist, living in New York. I'm from the Bay Area, and I mostly write about music and, sorry, it's actually so bad. I mostly write about music and subculture, and I'm the author of It Ain't Retro, that is a bio about Daptone Records and the larger funk and soul scene that we're all part of. And I DJ too. I used to be on the radio for a long time back in San Francisco, and I'm super stoked to be here. So.
Very cool.
Sorry, I'm from San Francisco. I didn't know you were from the Bay.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you stay, baby.
We'll get into the questions now. So, Jess, can you tell us what inspired you to write the book on Daptone? Maybe share like a cool memory, challenges that you experience along the process, kind of, stories.
Absolutely. I mean, so you'll know growing up in the Bay that we have some really great soul radio, and I've loved soul and funk music for most of my life. So in my late teens, started coming up on contemporary soul artists, playing in a 60s and 70s style. And I originally started writing this book as a larger theme study of that funk and soul revival. And as I was working on it, I had a really hard time finding an agent or a publisher that like really saw the value in telling the story of this larger community. And, as a reporter, if you find a bad angle, if you're not getting anywhere, you have to pivot. So Daptone was always going to be a big character in the story, and I decided to work on that and really center them as the leaders in the soul revolution and place them at the center of this larger international scene. And the timing worked out really well because this year's their 20th anniversary, and it's crazy to just think holistically about all of the people that have listened to these records and grown from that, and that were doing their own thing and get to big up and success.
Wow. What was the time that it took to kind of wrap up the whole process?
I mean, when I first thought about this, I was at the Funky Soul Weekender in LA, and that was 3 years ago. And by the time it comes out, so it'll be about 3 years, 6 months. But I wrote most of this during the pandemic. So I guess, this was somebody's way of telling me to sit the hell down and write. So I don't know, a couple years.
Very cool. Very cool. My next question, Fatima, I'd love to, what is the process to open a record shop, online or physical? And can you kind of tell us about that? Maybe some lessons learned along the way?
Yeah, I definitely have some words on that. So we're basically an online shop. We don't have a physical location. Occasionally we do pop-ups, but in starting your own record shop, especially online, obviously the first thing you need is records. If you want to sell new records and you want to get them at a good price, you need a business license and you need a resale license. And it doesn't cost much money at all, but you just got to put the paperwork in. There's some really big one-stop distributors, and a one-stop distributor is a distributor that carries tons of record labels. So instead of going to Warner Music to see if you can get stuff and Stone's Throw, you can just go to a one-stop distributor that carries everything. And usually all you need is a business license and a resale license. Get your website up. And as I mentioned, we do pop-ups in LA. I don't know how it is in other cities, but usually you just pay like a vendor fee and you show up with your product. So it's pretty easy.
Okay. Any challenges you experienced along the way from the pandemic that are worth noting, learn something from?
The biggest challenge during the pandemic is that, at the beginning of 2020, we wanted to open up a physical location, and, obviously we weren't able to do that. And a lot of times when you're small, like we are, and you're not a big record store, for example, we're not allowed to participate in Record Store Day. So when Record Store Day comes around and there's all that exclusive product, if you don't have a physical location, you're not able to get the product. So there's little challenges like that we come up against, but overall it's been pretty smooth.
Okay. And lastly, the records that you have put in your shop.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
How do you pick like the select records that you put in the shop for people to, buy?
Well, I pick stuff that I like and I believe in and that I think is dope, but also that our customers like as well. I follow a lot of our customers on IG. I know some of our customers in person. So like anything West Coast is always going to go for us. Mm-hmm. Any soul, anything. Freddie Gibbs is huge. So there's just certain artists, anything Stone's Throw, any classic hip hop. So there's just certain genres or artists that the customers love. So.
Okay, very cool. All right. And now we'll move on to Shy real quick. Tell me why you started Girls Vinyl Community. What was the inspiration behind it? And what should women know about the community?
Yeah, so I started Black Girls Vinyl because I just wanted to see more representation. But kind of before that, I started modeling my own record collection, like all around LA. I lived in LA at the time. And I just didn't see anyone like me. I know that there's other like vinyl communities and stuff. And I just wanted to kind of bring in that switch and highlight Black women and girls that have dope music taste myself and, a diverse music taste as well, and really highlight that. And that's why we've started series like the Selector of the Week and, just doing things to bring in, to know that we're here and just show that representation. What was kind of the other half of your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, so just kind of like trying to really understand the mission behind the community and maybe there's folks that are listening that would want to be a part of it, but they're like, how do I join? But what do I get from the community kind of thing?
Yeah, so far as like kind of getting everyone, putting them on, Just kind of reach out. I think following the page, I know like I'm the one running the social media, so I'm actually find someone and designate them as a social media person so I can do more of like the creative aspect and just kind of focus on that. But just tap in. Like I'm always available and try to highlight like in any way possible. Um, yeah, that's it.
So one of the, I think I was reading an article about Chronicle, and maybe you were talking about how there was a certain form you had for the way you took the pictures with your record. Kind of talked about how a lot of people show maybe the record in a room or on a table, but you were kind of going all around the field to just kind of talk about that and the inspiration.
Yeah, so for me, it was very big of showing my self-expression for what the music made me feel. I'm a very visual thinker, and so I really wanted to highlight, kind of put the feel of a record by modeling. I also was a model at the time, so I really wanted to kind of challenge myself, but also something cool where it was like, okay, like I'm not at home in front of my record collection taking a photo, but I'm having like an experience of feeling of what the music created for me. And so it's very important, and it's still important to me if I can find someone who wants to dedicate their time to just take pictures of me. Kind of crazy, but I just really wanted to like really hone in that feeling of a record and visual aspect, and that's why I chose like LA is such a perfect place to like take photos and do stuff, and it was very big on my emotions. I felt daily and music, all of that connected, so it's easy to find spots that really was able for me to connect that with the records in my collection.
Okay, very cool. All right, so now we're going to get into our panel questions, and what I'd like to know is, so our viewers, we've got an author, we've got a rapper, we've got someone who started a community. I'd like to know some of the challenges experienced as women kind of in the field and the community role, maybe how you would navigate it.
So I guess for me, the challenge, I think I really had many challenges, but I can't say finding, obviously kind of really trying to do the research and finding like women, Black women, but now like they're popping up more, so it's kind of like coming to me. But as far as like being in that male dominant industry, I don't really deal with that aspect, and I guess for me too, I also don't look at it that way. I know that I'm creating something that I love. It's not like this is just what I do. So I just kind of put myself out there. I never felt like, even when I go record collecting, I never kind of feel that pressure of like the record store owners, stuff like that. I just know who I am. I know what I like. Go in there. Everything is a journey to search for me. So I haven't honestly dealt with challenges because I'm not doing a part in where I really have to pick like that male dynamic. So
Okay, that's a good thing.
yeah.
All right, Fatima?
I got this one. Yeah, the challenges as far as being in a male-dominated space, I used to see it a lot more many years ago when I was out digging for records, but I don't see it as much anymore. However, selling records in LA, I'm gonna keep it real, especially in the kind of pop-up swap meet space where we sell records. I have seen like a lot of male aggression. There aren't very many women selling records, especially Black women.
Right.
I do see one black woman. I didn't mean to talk to her, sis. I don't know what shop you own, but there does seem to be a lot of aggression. I had a guy at one of the last pop-ups I did try and rearrange my records, tell me this should be in the front because it'll grab more people's attention. I've been buying and selling records forever. I don't need your help. He asked me if I knew what Discogs was. So
wow,
this isn't something that happens like all day, but yes, every once in a while I get a customer that does that. I've had other vendors come and just try and grab a bunch of products and be like, I'll take this for like $20. Specifically, I had a bunch of Wax Poetics, and this guy came by, just grabbed all my Wax Poetics and said, I'll give you $20. And I'm thinking like, No, they cost money, and I'm trying to make a profit. So I do believe it's because I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? Specifically a Black woman, and people think I don't know what I'm doing, and I do. So yeah, that stuff does definitely happen. And also on IG, I see it less and less. But I know when I first joined IG, there would be comments on a lot of women's pages like, you know, is that your boyfriend's collection? I never got that one personally, but one that I did get was that someone wanted to know, I had a turntable in the background and they wanted to know where the plug was, like, was it really plugged in? So there have been little things like that that have happened here and there, but it's honestly, it's not a daily thing, but it does happen.
Okay. Interesting. Jess, how about you?
The whole record store thing, that really resonates with me. I work at a store sometimes, shout out Record City in Flatbush, and men come in there all the time and they try to quiz you. Like, oh, do you know what this record is? Do you know what that record is? I'm like, I put those records there, man. And like, I don't need to know everything. This is a learning process. We're all engaged. But I think generally one of the challenges I've come up on, and maybe not as much in recent years, but having people take me seriously, and men specifically take me seriously. You know, it doesn't matter how many bylines you have or how good your questions are. Some people just look down on you and they think, well, you're a fan, you're just trying to like get at my fame, or you know, you're just doing this for your diary, and I'm going to take advantage of you being a young woman and use this as an opportunity to come on to you. That's happened less and less, thankfully, but like definitely an occurrence, I think, for women across industries, but certainly women in music in all areas of it.
Wow, I just so interested because, you know, I think of, you know, I was game and there were a lot of record collectors who were women that made great record tape, and I contribute a lot to kind of following their lead. Showed me, in a sense, they raised me. There was a point when I didn't know a lot, and so for me, I never like that, but interesting, it does happen, and I definitely like to see it go away. So I appreciate you kind of being vulnerable, sharing those stories about that. We'll move on to the next question. Vinyl is the one that brings us together. So I would really love to know what's in your collection of records, what excites you, and what you go for.
I have a lot of jazz. I'm struggling with buying like newer records, but I have been lately. I just bought some records from Fatima Chantel. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there with the new records. But yeah, I have a lot of jazz records like Herbie Hancock, Herbie Mann. Who else? Well, Lonnie Liston, Latif. I just have like random stuff, and then I'm like really into right now, like picking up Japanese jazz and funk.
Ooh.
So that's really my itch. I really like stuff like that, and then I love buying like ear records, obviously for like sampling and stuff like for beat making. So yeah, that's my record collection. It has like anything I like at this point, but I want to expand and buy more hip hop, R&B, like things that I grew up on. So.
What's the name of a Japanese like jazz record that maybe we can look for that you like?
Well, this one is the American one, Hiroshima, but I recently bought, what are they called? They have the J. Cole sample. Shoot, what are they called? I forgot. And then I just bought like two, honestly, but I can't remember what they are.
Okay. Fatima, how about you?
My collection is really based on 90s hip hop. Another reason I got into record collecting is because I was a DJ on vinyl only, and I was doing a lot of 90s hip hop. So I have a lot of and late 80s too. So you know, Souls of Mischief, Mobb Deep, Nas, that type of stuff. But once I started selling records, I have a lot of stuff that has left my collection, unfortunately. So I have a lot of stuff going in and coming out. But yeah, I would say my record collection is primarily 90s hip hop, but I have some soul in there. I have a little bit of rock in there. I've accumulated a lot of stuff. I definitely have some 45s, a few box sets.
What's your prized record?
Oh, my prized record is Crenshaw by Nipsey Hussle. That was when we first started our vinyl club. That was one of our records of the month. You know, this is before he passed away, and so they only made, I think, I can't remember if it was 300 or 500. So whoever got those albums from us was lucky. I know there's some bootlegs floating around, but I still have that original copy.
Wow,
So.
that's so cool. All right, Jess, how about you?
My collection's mostly funk and soul from 60s and 70s era. I collect Boogaloo. I collect a lot of Jamaican oldies because coming up in the Bay, like, we love oldies, and that era of Jamaican music really like strikes a chord with people out there. So in more recent years, since I moved to New York, I've been digging into like later sounds because dub, dancehall, more roots, much more popular out here. So yeah, mostly 60s, 70s soul, lots of Jamaican oldie 45s, and whatever I'm picking up.
In terms of the Jamaican 45s, is there one that you'd recommend? Just kind of like a staple 45 you could all check out?
Oh man, anything by Alton Ellis, most beautiful voice in all of rocksteady.
Okay. All right. So to kind of round out our question, I was hoping that maybe you could share a quote or advice for any of our young women out there listening to kind of encourage them to really take their passion to the vinyl community.
Well, I don't really live by quotes, but there is a quote from Rick Rubin that he said, like, I don't know everything, but I know I have taste. And that's really kind of like something, like, you know what, that's because I'm not like a type of person that that's really big on just like knowing everything. Like, I just kind of live and experience. I like kind of go through life that way. But as far as with that quote, I just feel like trust anything, you know, like your creative judgment or whatever you have an idea of, and go with that. Like, I've always done that. It works for me. Like, I just believe in myself. A lot of times I learn along the way. So, you know, don't overthink what you want to do, especially like a community, what I've done. I think that at a certain point I overthink it. I was just like, you know what, like, this is an idea I have. I'm going to do it and I'll learn along the way. I know nothing about business and stuff. Like, I didn't study that. I have a science degree. So, you know, like, I teach myself everything along the way. Fun, like, I make mistakes, you know, and I have fun with that. And that's where I'm at with my life. Is just like, you just have to, whatever you want to do, you just have to do it. And you want to make a purpose or, you know, like a difference in a community. This feels right for me. Like, music has always been a part of my life. So I know that this fits me. I know I'm being true to myself. So at the end of the day, like, I may not know like how to really run stuff, but hey, I feel like I have great taste. I have great ideas, and that's all that matters.
I love that. Thank you. Go ahead, Fatima.
Quotes. I would say it's your world. I think Common said that maybe, but it really is your world, and it's your it's your feed if you're on IG, and there's a lot of really good resources and pages. I think Black Girls Love Vinyl is great. There's a lot of great pages now for women and people of color as well. I think there's one called POC Vinyl Collectors.
Oh.
There's women that collect wax. There's a bunch of different groups and communities that you can join. If you're thinking about opening up your own record store, you can always DM me. I'm available. I respond if you have any questions. But yeah, just be true to yourself. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. And any record that you want to post and put out there, put it out there. It doesn't matter if it's popular or from Urban Outfitters or whatever. Just it's your feed, it's your world. So just do what you want and enjoy it.
I love that. Awesome. All right, Jess.
Right on. Yeah, I would say go out in the world. If you're a journalist, if you're a writer, and you are inspired by communities that you see on IG or elsewhere, you're not going to be able to like tell those stories in isolation. Make friends, ask questions, and like be a fan. People respond to honesty, and no one's gonna share the good stories with somebody that's like not cool. So be a good hang.
Awesome. Before we get into games, I'll share one of my favorite quotes. So I'm very big into Stoic philosophy, and one of the things that hooked me was a line by the Younger. He said, "The things we fear harm us more than reality." And those words really stuck with me. And I think that, for anyone, you've got to be able to get past the person or you can take the world or anything to achieve. And so I think all of the quotes, everything you shared was fantastic. I wanted to round that out. We'll get into our fun. These are 10 questions to answer really quickly. It's about, telling the viewers who we are, people, and maybe music collector and so on. So no pressure. Question that doesn't let me know. Musical inspiration growing up.
Oh, my turn. Oh, ShyDaze, definitely. That's
Okay.
how my mom made. That's why she named me after her. Like, my inspo, everything she talks about, I can relate to now. So yeah.
Okay.
I have to go with Prince.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
I would say Tony Sandoval from 98.1 Kiss FM. He had a great Sunday Oldies program and like always picked up his community.
Love that. Love that. Okay. What are you listening to right now?
Ooh, right now. Oh my God. I'm like always on the go, so like I have to listen to stuff on my phone. But I've been listening to a lot of Smino. This is weird for me to say, but like I'm from St. and so like I'm like catching up on his music. I've also been listening to like Freddie Gibbs a lot. I always listen to him though. He kind of really gets me in the mood. Makes me think so.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been listening to a lot of City Girls. I always need something mellow to balance out my mood. So I would say Painted by Lucky Day is just a super dope album to kick back to. So
love that.
I've been listening to Combo Lula's new record because I'm writing on it, and Pachemia's second album of like spiritual jazz.
Very cool. Okay. The last record you bought?
I bought Action Bronson, his latest album. I actually bought it from Cool Vinyl out here in DC. So, yeah.
Okay.
I just bought Meg Thee Stallion's Good News.
Okay. Very good.
I picked up Who Is This Bitch Anyway from Marlena Shaw.
Awesome. Love that. All right. The song you play to get motivated.
Okay, so I've been playing a lot of the song is called Good Morning Glory by Jericho. I play the instrumental, I play the regular version like over and over. That really gets me honed in on like what I have to do. Like I feel super inspired listening to that song, even if it's not in the morning. Like,
okay.
I'm gonna go with Hustle and Motivate by Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah. Good one.
Ken Booth, Be Yourself.
Love it. Love it. All right. This is a tough one. 45 LP.
Well, I want to say LP, but like lately now I do want more 45.
Yes.
Because I just really just want to listen to one song.
Right.
Song, so yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna say 45. I'm probably gonna.
It's a great choice.
I'm gonna go with LPs. More time on the record player.
Yep.
45s for playing out, LPs for home, and I feel like over the pandemic, I've been getting more LPs than 45s because where was I going to go play out?
Yeah. I didn't really collect 45s before the pandemic. I always like album art or cover kind of reel me in. And the thought of having to flip through 45 and just look at labels was a daunting thing. But since then, I've bought the 45s, and the one thing I've noticed, I have to get up like every 30 seconds because the record's over. So I'm torn. I love LP. I love 45 in between. How about black or colored?
I honestly don't really have a preference. I the only color record is the one that I bought from for greatest the 45, or I don't know. That's the only one I can think of that I have. But colors are fun. They're cute. I don't care. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with black. I'm not that picky. I know people always say picture disc and colored vinyl have the quality's not as good, but I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me.
Okay.
I feel the same way, but like sometimes you get a really cool looking one. I have this like orange Margaret's comp from Japan that I'm like, yeah, why not?
Okay. I go crazy over color area. What's the reason when I see like the standard black available, I'm like that hurts. Like so pretty in an orange or teal. Okay. So next one is your favorite.
What was the question?
What's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Oh, green. Money, green.
See, same here. Money, green.
Me too.
and gold. I'm sorry, I have to add in gold too.
Okay, I like that. We get the color palette right. Favorite dessert?
I don't really eat sweets like that, I'm gonna be honest. Let me think though. I like ice cream.
Can I get a flip? Like a Ben and Jerry's pick?
Ben and Jerry, no, I don't do that. Sorry.
Oh, we can't be friends. Go ahead, Fatima.
I love cheesecake, so.
Okay. Jess?
I got a terrible sweet tooth, so I refuse to pick.
Okay. How about this? Favorite drink?
I really like ginger beer. It's so weird, but I like ginger beer a lot.
Beer's good.
Red wine for me.
Okay.
If we're talking alcohol, then like a Ryan ginger beer. That would be my go-to.
Okay. So, Fatima, since you like red wine, I got you. It's kind of like when we were kids and we get a cereal box and there's a toy inside, we get all excited. When I saw Snoop Dogg had 20 times red wine,
yeah,
it's so good. You got to try it next time you see it.
Oh, I've been trying it. You know the label talks, right?
Yeah.
Have you held it? Okay.
There.
And he just put out a rosé too. So.
Okay. All right.
Really?
I'm on it. Yes.
Ladies, that concludes our fireside chat, panel discussion, and questions. Before we leave, I would just like you to maybe tell everyone where they can go online and if there's something new that's coming out that we'd look forward to and knew about.
So yeah, you can find me on Black Girls Love Vine. I mean, that's really that. I'm also FloorSunrise.com is the website, so you can find like some of the old Q&As that I've done. I'm hoping to bring that back, honestly. And yeah, I'm selling merch too. You can buy a shirt.
Okay.
What else?
I the website last night, and the thing I was disappointed was I didn't see anything for my 4-year-old daughter. I was fantastic. So when that line comes out, you got to let.
Yes, I'm working on so many things. So yeah, all types of merch, and also, like I said, social media is the main place where you can find us. Hopefully, we're trying to do steps once COVID, kind of passed, but
yeah,
people are still trying to take precaution because everyone's not fully there. But meetups is the next thing as well.
Very cool. I love that. Okay.
Yeah, as far as Instagram goes, you can find me at Fatima Chantel. That's my personal page. The IG for my business, Createism, it's just Createism, CRATISM. The website is Shop Createism, and we have records, we have adapters, we have record totes, although we're sold out of a lot of stuff, which is a blessing. And as far as exciting things that we're working on, well, we do have a vinyl club, a monthly vinyl club, but we also try to bring in some really cool product. And something that's getting ready to drop in the shop that I haven't even had a chance to post about, but I'll drop it on here, is Anderson Pack is getting ready to drop a 12-inch, a lockdown 12-inch. That's the joint that he did with J-Rock last summer.
Wow.
It's a picture disc. I think it has like a Black Power fist on it. And I hope I'm not getting my information mixed up, but I think it's actually going to drop on Juneteenth. It's only going to be available at Black-owned record stores, including us. So look out for that.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you. Jess.
You could find me on Instagram at interview_boogaloo. And yeah, that's my book, It Ain't Retro, Daptone Records and the 21st Century Soul Revolution. It'll be out August 10th, but you can pre-order it on Amazon or through places like Rough Trade, Bookshop, and at fine record stores across the country. And yeah, if you go to my website, jlipsky.com, I have lots of stories that you could read about like through bands and cool themes. And I'll be in the second issue of Wax Poetics in September. Or not me personally, but something I wrote.
Awesome. I love that. I want to thank you all for taking the time to sit down with me and have this chat. This was such a meaningful thing to be able to introduce you to folks that follow me and find these kind of connection points. My hope is that that they'll share it not because of me, but because of the stories and everything they're doing to continue that recognition. I hope that we've maybe inspired some women watch forward, with the vinyl community, the examples to know that it is.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for having us.
Waxvillain family, anything with the store, the community, or a new book or something you want to showcase, anytime, Waxvillain platform is open for all of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All righty. Have a nice night.
You too.
All right. Take care, y'all.
See ya.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. This was a really special live stream for me tonight to showcase women that I have recognized over the course of the last year on Instagram. And I wanted to give some shine to the work that they're doing in the vinyl community so that you can have these connection points and can follow them and support them. And, if there's something similar, whether it's a record store or writing or starting a community, give them a pound and push them in the right way, motivate them, right? Help them. When we do things by committee, we go farther, faster. Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. I'm out.